Within the same week that Donald Trump was announced as the winner of the 2016 American election, Greek-American author, journalist and co-founder of Huffington Post, Arianna Huffington, was in South Africa as one of the speakers at the Discovery Leadership Summit. Now, the focus of her talk was her assertion that the global working world is suffering from sleep deprivation. Our producer, Desiree Chauke, caught up with her in this two-part interview.
She's written over a dozen books on such varied subjects. Her biggest claim to fame was co-founder of the hugely successful online publication Huffington Post. But these days, Arianna Huffington goes all over the world on a crusade to create a life of well-being, wisdom, and wonder through her Thrive Global initiative that encourages the content of her other book, The Sleep Revolution, which was the subject of her talk at the Discovery Leadership Summit. Part of the Thrive Global offering is a 6-week online course that promises to take you from surviving to thriving through proper sleeping patterns.
Arianna, welcome to South Africa. We're also excited to have you here to chat about your visit, your books, and of course, American politics.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
You have been quoted a lot this week for saying that American President-elect Donald Trump's victory was a wake-up call for the Americans. What do you mean?
For a long time now, we have been talking about the dangers of growing inequalities. I myself wrote a book called Third World America about what was happening and how we were not doing enough to deal with the legitimate fears that people were feeling when they felt the American dream was slipping away, their children couldn't get jobs, or they were burdened with college debt, and that something had to be done. And it was clear that that fear and that hopelessness fueled the Donald Trump presidency.
Donald Trump has been labeled a racist, a bigot. Surely this isn't a great way to come into the White House. What are your thoughts about where American politics is going now?
Well, what are my thoughts are that having been both when I was at the Huffington Post and afterwards a very unequivocal opponent of Donald Trump. In fact, at the Huffington Post, I had instituted an editor's note at the end of each story about Trump, reminding readers of all his very un-American policy proposals. But that was in an effort to change the outcome of the election. Now that that effort failed and that he is the president-elect, I think it is very important for everybody to build some bridges and hope that he is much better than he was as a candidate, because it's in the interest of the country. And of course, if he is not, if he governs the way that he campaigned, there is going to be tremendous and legitimate opposition.
Now you're working on Thrive Global. What is it all about?
So yes, I've written 15 books, and I'm a very curious person, so I love to explore new topics. But now my passion and the reason I left the Huffington Post to focus on it 100% for the rest of my life is to help change the way we work and live. Because I feel that we are all under a collective delusion. And when I say we, I mean literally everybody around the world, whether you're in South Africa or the United States or China or Japan, under this collective delusion that in order to succeed, we have to burn out. And we see millions of people around the world destroying their health, their relationships, because they think they can't afford to slow down, to take care of themselves, to disconnect from their devices. And the science is so conclusive that, in fact, when we take care of ourselves, when, as they say on aeroplanes, we put our own oxygen mask first, we are much more productive, much more effective, and everything in our lives is better, from our decision-making to our health and our happiness. And so I love the fact that Discovery is so based on behavior change, on incentivizing behavior change, because my new company, Thrive Global, is all about behavior change. You know, how can we through micro steps. I believe that behavior change starts with very, very small, tiny steps. Introduce more well-being and more clarity and less stress in our lives.
Now, the second part of the Arianna Huffington interview on sleeping your way to the top is in the next hour.